GearNetwork.com.
All right, you know what? We're just going to roll with this here. We're starting over. Yes, we're doing the pre-show, Lewis.
The pre-show.
Pre-show, right. You see, this is...
This is what happened to us.
Is this pre-show
yesterday.
part D?
Yes, well, it's actually part 1, but it's 2 to us.
This is what happened to it happened to Perez and myself yesterday, where he showed up and I had the podcast ready to go. I hit record and it just stopped working. For 45 minutes.
That's wonderful.
So here's why it's the pre-show. Okay.
For those of y'all who don't know what's going on, is we had technical difficulties, and John said we're going into the pre-show, and my question was, well, isn't this technically part of the show? Because we're going to talk. There's going to be some banter, and then they're going to hit a bumper, and then we're going to go into the show. So technically,
it's the show before the show,
right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Because our show, we have segments. It's the segment, that segment. Everything's detailed out what we're going to do.
So this would technically be section 1.
The pre-show is just us getting ready.
This is the pre-show.
Ready.
We labeled it the pre-show.
Right.
You do it how you want to do it. This is how I do it.
Luke has a lot of Gear Network hate lately. I've been hearing a lot of Gear Network hate going on.
Well, let's save that for the actual show part.
After my boy
Welcome,
Strong.
everybody.
What are you talking about? Gear Network hate. I got no Gear Network hate.
Welcome, everyone, to the 20th episode of Get Ready America. This is the pre-show, and it is sponsored, of course, by our friends at Amazon. GearNetwork.com/Amazon. You get everything you need. We are like the biggest customers, Dawn and I, of Gear Network's Amazon, but Ryan does his fair share of shopping, too, as do you listeners, and we thank you for that. It is the easiest way.
Ask my credit card. I do a lot of Amazon shopping.
You said doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
I caught that, you see.
I do.
It is the easiest way to help support this and the other podcasts on the network. As you could hear, the Better Live Than Dead cast and crew is here. Ryan and Mr. Perez. Hello, gentlemen.
Hi.
And making his debut.
Hola.
His debut, complete in Pittsburgh Penguins garb. Brandon the intern has made his way here.
I have made my way here.
Ferguson.
I was actually holding out until the Apple app was ready, but I figured Better Alive Than Dead. I'd probably be dead before that happens because Apple has this process where they just don't approve any app by anybody.
Oh, by Apple app you mean the Gear app?
Yes, the Gear app. I have to use
Spreaker. Listen, Spreaker was the gateway drug for us, so...
Well, it's still my only drug.
All right, well, we're going to go ahead. We'll kick the bumpers and then get the real show, Perez, on the road, and we can address the gear hate that Don mentioned. All right.
Looking forward to this. I have no idea what he's talking about.
Cue the bumper. This is a Gear Network production.
So while you are here glorifying hate, glorifying dirty play, glorifying flagrant fouls, and selfish individual play, I'm going to celebrate the birthdays of peace and love with Jack Kerouac, Liza Minnelli, and James Taylor, who have all been big-time headline performers right here in Las Vegas, the peaceful, relaxing meadows in the heart of the Mojave Desert.
Sports Center's up next here on ESPN.
Have you ever been to a volcano when it was erupting?
Hey, this is Charles Barkley. I hope you enjoyed the NBA playoffs on TNT. And I hope you have enjoyed my T-Mobile Fave 5 list. I'm a dumbass.
Coming to you live from the Gear Network studios in Rochester, New York, and broadcast worldwide on GearNetwork.com. This is Get Ready America.
Bill Walton and Charles Barkley bring us into this 20th edition of Get Ready America right here on the Gear Radio Network. Hello, everyone. I am John Cimino, the JC, the JCDC, and of course, joining me, my better half, Mrs. Dawn Cimino. Say hello, Dawn.
Hello.
And the Better Live Than Dead crew. Say hello again, guys.
Hello.
Hello again, guys.
Brandon the intern.
Hello.
And we are here from coast to coast, continent to continent, border to border, from China to Canada, to the United States, and wherever you may be.
Hi, Canada.
Hi, Canada.
Hi, Kazakhstan.
Hi, Canada.
Shut up, Brandon. Already, Ernest, shut up.
Hi, Puerto Rico.
All right.
It looks like he has to poop real bad in this picture.
It does.
Perez, real quick, who are you saying hello to? Besides
Oh
Puerto
my
Rico
God!
and Canada?
Why do you ask that?
Because I know you wanted him to say it.
I'm going to say hi to no one today.
That's the Price is Right fail horn right there that you hear.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to say hi to anyone. I mean, I could find someone to say hello to, especially if it's just going to bug Dawn. Like, I'll find some people to say hi to. Just so, yeah.
All right, very good. Well, while Lewis finds some people here, first of all, I want to thank everybody for joining us here. This is the official 1-year celebration of the Gear Radio Network. We began a year ago, conveniently after WrestleMania, doing some testing things and stuff. It was just a shot in the dark, you know. There was a couple of podcasting places in town, and I didn't want to join any of them. And I wanted to start what we have here right now. And it has grown, and everybody in here, sans you right now, Brandon, but everybody else, you've largely contributed, so thank you very much for everything that you've provided over the course of the year. It's been fun, and I have enjoyed it.
It's been a lot of fun. It's been crazy, too, kind of, because we started off with something so small, and now it's kind of just taken off a little on us, and when you send me texts and screenshots and things, and you're like, "Hey, check this out," I'm like, "That can't be real. That can't be real." And you're like, "No, check it out for yourself." And I'm like, "Wow, that's what have we done?"
It's crazy because when you talk about Don, remember the big blow up between JC Money and Warpath, and Warpath made that mention of having 5 listeners.
Oh, right.
And from that point in time, I have made a conscious effort to keep an eye on all of our numbers across all the platforms, and Warpath is eating crow right now.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing's so irrelevant to me that when you say it, I was like, who the hell's Warpath?
We said that when we knew who he was. Shoot. Come on.
Who Warpath is.
Don't worry about it.
Warpath is this
Don't worry
wrestler.
about it? All right.
He's nobody.
He's this wrestler that basically has made a non-career of impersonating the Ultimate Warrior.
Horribly.
Oh.
Horribly.
I love it when
impersonating a not very good wrestler.
God rest his soul. Warrior has passed. He's no longer with us, Brandon.
He's not a warrior anymore.
Show some goddamn empathy.
about to kick him off the air. He has no feelings. He has no soul.
I have none.
My favorite thing over the past year is I have to say is that whenever you send me a screenshot and you with your fancy little phone you got, you hashtag S&D Warpath. Always my favorite. Always.
That's right. Warpath. In all seriousness, you're welcome for the plug, and thank you for the motivation.
Perez, endless
and S&D.
Yeah.
Have you found somebody yet?
Yes, I want to say hello to Katrina from Lucha Underground. She's pleasantly fun to look at.
Mm-hmm. Fancy lady. It's pretty fancy.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, so hello, Katrina from Lucha Underground. And now, prior to us going to the regular show, Dawn mentioned the gear hate.
Yeah.
From the person sitting to her right. Let's touch up on that, because he wanted to touch up on it, shall we?
I did want to touch up on it.
He had all this hate about the gear guy name. That's like some big problem for him.
How's that hate?
Why is it the gear guy?
How's that hate?
Gear guy.
How's that hate? I just suggested a different name. That's not hate.
Well, here's the thing. Did you happen to catch last week's episode? I'm going to guess not.
Not yet. No, I was listening to it the other day in my car, but then I had to work.
I figured out a challenge to you.
To come up with a different name?
Come up with it.
Oh, yeah, I heard that.
I gave you between now and next spring training, because the gear guy for this year is already established.
Okay.
Between now and spring training next year, you come up with a better name.
That's easy.
You come up with a better name.
No problem.
We'll put it out there.
I'll probably have a better name by the end of this episode.
I would love to hear your suggestion for a better name. Hey, Perez, what does GEAR stand for?
That's your daughter's.
Well, he knows now.
No, he doesn't. What does it stand for?
Yeah, he does because Ryan told him.
He told him what are the actual letters stand for. Does anybody know that?
Yeah.
Besides you.
I'm waiting for Perez's answer.
Do you have an answer?
Well, I know it's Gianna. I know it's Emma.
Uh-huh.
I don't know the other ones.
Rice and enchiladas.
I like rice and enchiladas. This is a good guess.
I got nothing.
Oh, good Lord. You know what?
Are we fired?
Uh-oh.
I had, if I could get my hands on it here, I had $5 American. Was going to go to the person that went ahead and gave it the right answer.
Oh.
He just pulled that out. He wasn't probably going to do that.
I was. Listen, I'll tell you what. The Gear Network Jeopardy, I'll tell you this.
I knew we were playing a game.
Whoever has the most correct answers will win this $5 American. and that's going to go through this entire podcast.
If that's the case, I'm going to
$5
start
American
using
dollars.
Google.
Right.
I'm going to ask questions about Gear Network's history. The one who answers the most correct answers. Don, unfortunately, you're excluded.
That's okay.
We'll win this $5 American
So
dollars.
it's pretty much myself and Perez.
Brandon,
Unless Brandon's been studying.
You can get on.
Well, Brandon knows John pretty well, so you know.
I am going to bring up an action memo right now.
Wait, so she said she had more hate. Like what other hate? Other than not liking the gear guy name.
That was really all the hate. The rest was just like, why are we called Better Live Than Dead? And
that was just a regular question.
Right. That's why I said that wasn't so much hate. That was just like
that was just a question.
Been on the show how long? You might have wanted to ask that.
Nah, who cares? Like I'm on the show.
It's just.
I honestly now refer to your show as playing with my balls. So because you said that,
Fair enough.
After that.
Because you said that, that's just forever what your show will now be.
That's fine with me.
My sister asked me once, why is it called Better Live Than Dead? Because it really has nothing to do with sports. And I was like, that's a good question.
But
I randomly
show really has little to do with sports anymore either.
We talk a lot about
You have,
sports.
like-
They do have an hour and a half long episode.
Oh, right.
And about
Kind
a
of.
good 45 minutes to an hour, but it is sports talk.
Sometimes we talk sports. Like last episode, the one that's going up, that went up this morning. It kind of went off the rails a little.
But it was fun.
There's just some days we'll just sit down and start talking, and we go, we got sports to talk about, and then we'll just rant. Like the story time segment, there was no story. It was just we started.
We played the bumper anyway.
We played the bumper, and then I looked at Perez, and then we just started talking about something, and then something else, and something else. And next thing I know, I'm like, been going for like 35 minutes. We're gonna tell a story. Nah, let's not do it.
All right.
Because we have to get the bumper in every episode, though.
We do have to get the bumper.
You have to.
Do I have to play the bumper in this episode?
Well, you did want me to tell a story about the one time we went to Davis.
Yes,
So
okay,
at one point we'll do that.
We'll put that in there. Let me just jot that down. Story.
So why the hate that we don't talk about sports all the time?
I didn't say it was hate.
Okay.
You said it was a sports show, and I'm pointing out that it's more than just a sports show, because sports is just like part of the show.
It is more just
I'll
a
tell you,
sports
it's a good
show.
thing though. We kind of branched out. That's one thing that John always pointed out to me was,
Right.
he was you don't have to always force it. If we want to go on and talk about something we don't like, it's our forum. We can just.
And let's be honest, this time of year it's kind of a slow sports period.
This week, like usually, I have.
It's March Madness
crazy.
time.
Yeah, we'll talk about March Madness, but that's
aside from
about
that,
it.
Frozen 4. And
But talking about
RIT, baby.
with my the memo on my phone, usually it's quite long. This week there was 10 things to talk about, so it was kind of
I'll
tough.
give the devil his due there. Ryan is always tweeting, posting, staying up late at night, writing up his shows.
I can't
So
ever
there's
sleep,
a lot of
so.
sport. There's a lot of sports in there. But anyways, Brandon, we've been rambling on for about 10 minutes.
So that was
now.
it?
You've just kind of been sitting there. So
You're grounded, Lewis.
Guys.
Yeah, it was nothing like
It was
earth-shattering. It was just a joke.
Brandon, tell us a little about yourself and your podcasting. Well, you don't really have any podcasting experience, do you?
I have about 11 minutes of podcasting experience, and it's been wonderful.
Yes. This is pretty much it. There's no real instruction manual for it. It's just you turn on the microphones, you go to town. That's what it is.
I have not gone
Go to town.
What are we going to town on?
Oh, listen, man, listen. I'm sitting at this table. You're sitting at this table.
Yes.
You lean so far to the left, and I see so far to the right. I'm sure at one point they're going to try to pit us against each other.
Well, I did openly say that at the banquet, so I think he has a little insider
banquet?
knowledge.
I'm just saying.
Yesterday, I was
this
like,
banquet
oh, I'm
held this year?
definitely.
I saw this coming.
Were there
So-
drinks?
It was at Rick's Prime Ribs.
So I need to.
There should have been, because their liquor selection was piss
That's a
poor.
disappointing,
That banquet was Rick's Prime Rib.
Their food was gross.
Their food was terrible.
The pasta was okay, and the potatoes were good.
Fathead Fusillo's always talking about being at this.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they had a bobblehead of him at the bar.
I had a potato thrown at me.
One more time, Brandon.
Rick Brown's ribs house. It was huge.
Huge.
Thank you, Billy.
Always there.
I'd like to thank Dawn for throwing the potato at me.
You did that really close
You're
to my
welcome.
face.
Sorry.
Appreciate that. I'm glad I was wearing a napkin.
That's like what happened yesterday on the podcast. We're sitting there talking, and on our hour and 20-minute podcast ended up almost a 4-hour conversation because we go to commercial and I ask Perez a question, and then we would talk for 45 minutes, then we'd come back, and then we would go to commercial and talk for 30 more minutes. And I'm learning, as time goes on, I'm learning what not to ask Perez about.
Yes.
Because
I'm pretty sure at one point I, rubbed my face. It was like, do you really want to get into that?
His face started to get a little red, and I'm like,
the thing is, Perez, we could hear you on the podcast as listeners rubbing your face. So, all right, we're gonna kick it to commercial break real quick. When we come back, we will have the story time with Perez. We'll try and throw an Obama reference in there to get Perez and Brandon the intern to beat each other's ass.
Or we can just talk about God.
God. We can do that too.
That's taboo.
And then eventually, as per the end of the Better Live Than Dead episode that you heard earlier today, Ryan and Perez may or may not carry on their own conversation while we try to make our points heard, or whatever. This is Get Ready America right here on the Gear Radio Network.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Perez, I must ask you.
What do you want to ask me?
How did you do this year in fantasy football?
Man, I don't want to talk about it.
Well, guess what?
I don't want to talk about it, man.
I've got good news for you.
What?
FanDuel allows you to win all that money back that you lost.
That's good, because I lost a lot of money
in fantasy football. But here's the catch.
What's the catch?
Fantasy hockey, fantasy basketball, 1 week leagues.
That doesn't sound like a catch to me.
You can win a lot of money.
I like that.
Just like you did with the fantasy football on FanDuel, you can win it with hockey, with basketball. Check it out, GearNetwork.com/FanDuel. You get the money on FanDuel. You help us out over at the Gear Network. We get money, you get money. Everybody's happy, and Perez is happy because he won all that money back.
I'll be real happy about
fantasy football, which he lost because, Perez is really bad at fantasy football.
Oh, man, don't even talk about it.
This podcast is sponsored by GreenNetwork.com/Amazon. Help keep our podcast free. Stop through Amazon. We thank you. Good night now.
Okay, listeners, so you hear us talking all the time about visiting the website for all of the podcast or Amazon shopping needs, but you are often not on your desktop to bring up the browser and visit. You ask us for a better way to take gear with you, and now we have that for you. Introducing the Gear Network app. Take the power of the Gear Network with you wherever you go. Listen or download all Gear Network programming, including Better Live Than Dead, Get Ready America, The JC Money Show Uncensored, Talking Wrestling, and others. You can also shop Amazon, post on our wall, follow our favorite local sports teams, and access all our social network profiles and so much more. And best of all, it's free. Zip, zilch, cost you nada. Visit GearNetwork.com on your phone's browser and click on the banner to download the app to your Android device. iOS people, don't fret. Yours is coming soon. Give it a download and take us with you wherever, okay? Okay, that's GearNetwork.com's app through GearNetwork.com.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen, and it's a very funny conversation. You know what? From now on, during commercial breaks, I'm just going to let the...
Just let it roll, man.
What are the rules for cursing?
What are the rules for cursing?
Yeah.
Nothing you can't hear on television.
F you guys.
My man was like...
The F word, F you.
That's fine. F you. F you, Perez.
My man was really
Brandon,
geeking out over that autograph.
I'll tell you what. I kid you not, I have over 1,000 autographs, and I've collected most of them through the mail, just by spending 65 cents on a stamp there and back.
Do you keep them locked in the basement?
I keep them locked up, yes.
Yikes.
Okay. Here we go. How about this?
And I do know how to snap someone's elbow. I'll break your arm and I'll shove it up your ass.
Okay. Just for that, Perez is going to go first. Gear Network Jeopardy. All right. Who was the first guest on the first episode of Talking Wrestling?
Is it GearNetwork.com, the website?
GearNetwork.com is the website.
I'm just making sure. I'm setting this out. I want to make sure I get the website correct.
By the way, quick question.
For people to check it out.
Is there anything wrong with if we want to make a Better Live Than Dead website? Would there be anything wrong with it being betterlivethandead.porn? Would you mind that?
Hey, they're opening them up.
Did you also know? I talked to my father about this yesterday because I knew he would laugh because anything like this he'll laugh at. Taylor Swift owns the rights to I Taught Taylor Swift How to Give Head.com.
What?
Yes.
Just to make sure that no one can take it and there's because it started off.
Their brand.
It started off with a guy who he had a website called I Taught Taylor Swift How to Play Guitar.com. Mm-hmm. They came after her and then went up and bought up all the websites. So she owns like TaylorSwift.porn and all that stuff now because they're the new things that are coming out.
Okay.
But apparently,
those are backup plans just in case they're.
Well, yeah, I mean,
I'm cool with that.
I think Perez.
I'm cool with that.
Perez, I'm not sure if we talked about it.
Yes.
I'm not sure if we talked about it on air yesterday. I can't remember, but I Perez and I would not mind if that was like a website that you could place an order and have it come over.
You do whatever you need.
I would not be disappointed in that.
Me neither.
So, hey, listen. First guess on Talking Wrestling. Who was it?
I have a good guess.
Go ahead,
Perez,
yes.
Perez, you were first. I asked you first.
I don't know.
Was it Chip Stetson? That's what I
I
thought.
remember Chip Stetson being on there, but he was a second.
To the top, yeah.
He was it Mark House?
No, because he's already on the
Tito
podcast.
Santana?
No, it was not Tito Santana. Brandon.
Tiger Smith.
No. No, it was definitely not. He was, I think, the third or fourth. But
Was it Lunchbox?
I just said that. Tiger Smith. Yeah. No.
the correct answer was Eric Emnon. So.
Oh, that's close.
No name.
All right. That's Brian Wolfe's brother, by the way. But bring the wall down. Hi, Don.
Hi.
Hey.
To shoot, bang, bang.
How's it going?
Great.
Bang, bang, bang.
So much fun being the only girl here amongst 4 guys. I gotta tell you, I'm having a great time.
You know what? You look like it.
Yeah.
You do.
You can just make fun of Perez if you want to. That's usually what I do when I get bored.
That's fine with me. Go ahead. I don't care. It's all
Can you
good.
find something political to get those two?
You know what? I there's something, John. Maybe you can attest to this. You can help me out. I've noticed the more I hang out with Perez, the more I'm becoming like Perez. Like
that happens to people.
I want. Is that a thing?
That's
It's very much a thing.
that's not a good thing.
Oh, it's an awesome thing.
Oh God.
No, because once you hit his age, then you become a grumpy grandpa. You don't even have kids.
I'm not even a grandpa.
Right. Case in point. You don't even have kids, but you become a grumpy grandpa.
Well, I should just say some of the things we talk off the air.
How am I grumpy?
Pay attention, and I'm just I've noticed a few things, and I'm like, oh, I probably should not do that.
Or you should all the time.
I should maybe. Who knows?
Dawn's playing. What is that? What is that game, Dawn?
It's
She's
4 letters.
she's
4 letters.
probably plotting how to murder us all, so she can.
It's a game called 4 Letters.
She's calling it an airstrike.
It's a game called 4 Letters, which is all the words she's thinking about with 4 letters, listening to us speak right now.
4 letters, dot porn.
Yes. Yes, exactly.
Which is also...
Oh Lord, the dot porn here. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna go ahead and kick the bumper for the story time with Mr. Perez.
Gather round, kids. It's story time with Mr. Perez.
Yeah.
And take it away.
All right, so last night we were sitting at the bowling banquet that I, John, and Dawn, and my wife were all part of the same team. And we were just reminiscing back in the day. And we were talking about this place used to be called Damon's. We used to go and see pay-per-views there for wrestling.
In honor of WrestleMania being today, why not?
Right, exactly. And one of the stories that we talked about, which one do you want to talk about? The one where we threatened to beat up the whole kitchen?
That one.
Or the other one?
No, let's start with that one.
Okay,
We can
so...
save the other one for next week on A Better Life Than Dead.
All right, so the waiter comes, brings some menus, we order our food, we get the bill at the end of the night, and Mr. Sabino over here notices that the bill is not what he was expecting it to be. It was a little more expensive. So he says, this is not what the charge was on the menu. And the waiter was like, yeah, it really was. And John was like, no, this is not what it said on the menu. And so for, 10 minutes, he proceeds to go through 50 menus trying to find the price that he thought it was. And all the menus had the price that John thought it was. So he finally finds one, and he's like, see, I told you that's what this price was. So go ahead, John.
So at that point in time, what ends up happening was, it was seriously, it was 11 menus for one.
Yes.
He that one, he wouldn't. It was honestly, and I have no problem saying this now because I'm in a much better position than I was when I was 19 years old or 18 when that happened. I'm not sure, but it was, I think, a 75-cent difference. Not a huge deal, but but back then, when you're working crap jobs, making minimum wage, if you see something, you have a set amount in your pocket, you know what you're going to spend. That's what you go with. That's why I ordered it.
Yes.
So it took me over budget. Someone wasn't getting a tip, and that wasn't fair to everybody else that was there. And it all just was probably poor planning on my end. But in any event, I did.
But the waiter was rude.
Right.
And then he calls a manager over. And the manager proceeds to get rude.
Right.
And
now, at this point, I hadn't been rude.
No.
which is odd. I know, but so Perez gets it. And
Did you get Rick on the phone?
No.
Perez gets in, and he was just like, "Look, in his calm Perez voice, look, we were just telling you about a discrepancy here. There's really, there's really no need for any drama. Well, I didn't appreciate your friend getting all rude." So Lewis, being a house of fire at that time,
yes,
turns around and says, "Listen, my man's not getting rude." Puts his cane down.
I used to walk around with a cane, 17-inch cane, with a sword in it.
Puts his cane down, turns around, gets nose to nose with the guy, puts his finger in his face. "I'm about to get rude with you, though. Who the hell do you think you are starting to talk to me like this? You're talking to my man like this? You got 10 men usually looking..." And he starts going off. He starts going down the checklist.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Perez's
now wife,
then girlfriend at the time, was like, Lucy turns on and said, "Shut up."
which was not a good idea, by the way.
Not a good idea. Nope.
I do not recommend you telling your significant others to shut up. It's just not a good idea.
No, definitely not. Right, Don? Good talk.
Shut up, John.
So he turns back around, starts going. Now at this point, it's literally like me and Lewis next to each other, the two managers in front of us, our party, which included Tiger Smith, slowly backing away, the door, and the entire kitchen
comes out of the kitchen.
Comes out, and they're lined up looking at us.
So all the kitchen's standing there, and I'm like straight up just yelling at this manager dude, and I turn around and I see the kitchen staff standing there. I'm like, what are y'all going to do? What, y'all want some of this? Like, we can all go outside right now. I was like, I will whoop every single one of y'all's ass. One by one, you can line up. I'll take care of it all. Like, I went off on these dudes all over like 75 cents.
All over 75 cents. And I was the guy that was going to eat them all while they were unconscious.
How was your meal, though? Was it?
You know what? The food there always was kind of like one time it'd be really good, another time it'd be like sucky.
But I'm talking about this particular time.
I don't remember.
Did that make you really ornery?
I don't remember.
75 cents my ass.
Right.
I don't even remember what pay-per-view it was we were watching.
Who knows? I don't know.
Because that whole thing just completely overshadowed.
We never went back.
No.
And then they closed.
I don't know.
I don't think you were allowed to be back.
Probably not.
That's more what it was. I think because they did threaten to call the police on us.
They probably have your pictures still there.
No, just in the empty building.
Afro.
Right.
You used to have.
I did have long hair at the time. Yeah. Yeah, my hair was curly at the time.
Ryan, does your pop filter smell good?
I'm watching racing on my computer right now.
What are you watching racing for?
I don't know. It's fun. It's like I'm driving a car, but I'm watching on my computer. It's pretty cool.
It's because he's... I don't know. I was going to say something racist. Decided not to.
No, I'm pretty interested now because the guy. I'm not a huge NASCAR guy, but the guy that the guy I'm watching right now, who's obviously my favorite driver, he's
who's obviously
Kevin Harvick.
Okay.
Obviously,
He's not
the last. No, that's Kurt Busch with the assassin. It's his teammate. No. Kurt Busch. He apparently beat up his girlfriend at the time. And
who by the way, is a trained assassin.
Yeah, his defense in court was that she was a trained assassin and he was protecting himself from her.
Yes.
That's what he said. That was his legal defense.
A trained assassin.
And he was, well, you know what? Dawn's a very highly skilled at assassination as well. She
good to know. I'm gonna pack my stuff up.
Very trained.
Well, what I was gonna say is this guy.
Just the looks alone, right? Right, exactly. Careful, y'all.
This guy's finished in the top two the last 8 races, and it's something that hasn't been done in like 40 some years. So it's interesting. But if anything, I can just sit around and drink beer and watch cars go around in circles, and if they crash, I get excited. Nothing wrong with that.
Brandon is a big fan of NASCAR, by the way.
Yes, I love NASCAR. I really like it when they turn left. And I
go in a circle.
I really like the circle that they go in.
That's
repeatedly for hours on end.
Yes.
You see, I would be that guy if I were behind a NASCAR car.
Well, some of the guys in NASCAR are hot, so.
Oh, well,
yeah.
Some of the guys' wives are pretty hot.
Yeah, I mean, it makes me want to be a race
They have a ton of money. Why would their wives not be hot?
Like
anybody who has money has
convertibles.
Right.
You know,
even if your wife wasn't hot, you could pay for them to be hot.
All right, I can watch this.
I would be the guy that drives the car with his left blinker on the entire time.
I'd be Ricky Bobby.
Don't even put blinkers on the car.
I just want to go fast.
Put it in my car.
Yeah.
I'll be in the car going, I'm going fast.
When I play NASCAR on a PS3, I just drive, because obviously they try to tell you to slow down the corner. I go about 200 miles an hour and just drive into everybody in the corners and crash everybody. And you race against me, it's like 75 cautions, and I win because everyone else is incapacitated. Yep, that's me. That's all I do.
Senior.
I intimidate people. I just crash them all.
That's messed up.
And his mustache.
That's cold.
That thing was pretty amazing. There were some secrets in that thing. Some of those hot NASCAR wives.
I'm not even a NASCAR fan, and that was just wrong.
All right, we're going to take a commercial break. We will be back right after this.
You're listening to Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
Don't believe me, just watch.
Hi, Gear Network listeners. The song of the month was selected by Better Live Than Dead's Ryan Wolfe. It is Uptown Funk by Mark Ronson featuring Bruno Mars. And if you like this song, you can purchase it through our Gear Network link from both Amazon and iTunes. Right now, if you head to GearNetwork.com, you can sign up for a free 30-day trial of Amazon Prime, which includes Prime Music. You'll be able to listen to this and other songs from Amazon Music's vast collection of songs as often as you would like. Or if you just want to download the song, you can purchase it for $1.29 on both Amazon and iTunes right from our website. Your purchase continues to support our free programming. Remember, that is GearNetwork.com, powered by Amazon and iTunes.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I am Ryan Wolfe.
It's Mr. Perez.
And I have a question for you, Perez.
What's your question?
Do you like to listen to people talk about sports?
No. Of course I like sports and listening to people talk about sports.
Well, guess what? I have the perfect solution for you.
Solution for me?
There's a podcast on this very network.
This network?
Every single week you can hear it.
Really?
New content, latest and breaking news. We talk about baseball, football, hockey, basketball, soccer, UFC, whatever you want to talk about.
So sports in general.
They talk about sports in general. You got it.
I like it.
You know the dictionary.
I like it.
Very proud of you.
Thank you.
I must say, tune in. We are Better Live Than Dead.
You're not.
Every single week. You're not going to want to miss it. Exclusively here on the Gear Radio Network.
Hey, Don, how's it going?
Living the dream. I'm actually just getting ready to do this commercial.
Oh, you mean the commercial where I tell our listeners to tune into Gear Network every week to listen to our show, Get Ready America? That one?
Yeah, John, that's the one.
They can also listen to us talk about news, sports, whatever's on our minds, that.
And a little of what's on our listeners' minds, but they're just too nice to say it.
Well, that, Dawn, is a real humdinger. Come join us this and every week for Get Ready America exclusively on the Gear Radio Network.
And the Gear Network app.
From the Gear Network studios, once again, here's John and Dawn.
It's your segment. You should toss it.
Yes.
It'd be good to have your segment on here. What?
This whole show's for a segment who she wants to be. Right now, I mean, she was playing 4 words while we were talking about that porn or whatever, but...
I'm just saying, I feel kind of bad. She's not looking real entertained right now. With the 4 of us guys just sitting around looking like she wants to stab us.
I think if they were even just 2 of us.
I don't like knives, so...
Just strangle us with your bare hands?
Poison us?
Last question.
Don't accept any drinks.
Poison. They're like, hey,
$5 American dollars on the line, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh.
Who is the Gear Network, Get Ready America version, wing, if you will, Hall of Famer?
I said I haven't had a chance to listen. I've been busy all week at work.
The Gear Network Hall of Famer.
That's an unfair question.
You said off the air, last episode.
Florida man. Florida man.
The episode before that, and the episode before that.
Let me guess. It has something to do with somebody from Florida. I just guessed.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Gear Network Hall of Famer is... I have no idea. You have to say, I think
I'm thrown off because I don't remember hearing the... I remember hearing the Kazakhstan... Oh, at the end. Before the music. Yeah, I got nothing. All I can think of is the guy with his ball bag covering his hole. That's all I can think of.
Clearly I need to listen to last week's episode. I need to listen to last week's episode.
All right. Well.
So who is it?
The vagina.
That kind of makes sense.
That does make sense.
That absolutely makes sense.
Can we get a golden vajankle for like the Hall of Fame, the bronze Hall of Fame plaque thing?
Well, I announced it. I think it was on episode 17, but I also teased the WWE Hall of Fame music.
Right.
I made the announcement.
Well, it's funny because if you listen to Better Live Than Dead from last week, Perez and I were both trying to figure out if you guys had done it yet.
Yeah, I know.
Because neither of us had heard the last week's episode, so we were like, I wonder who it is.
We mentioned who it was. We didn't induct them.
I'm kind of curious because as I'm on this site and I'm just reading through some of the comments, some of the newer ones that are on there, somebody wants to know if they would consider putting teeth inside of it. Why would you want?
Were we just talking about this?
There's a movie called Teeth.
There's a movie called Teeth.
And we also stumbled upon a horror movie called Zombieverse last night.
Yes, Zombieverse. Why would you want teeth in the vajankle?
What would the vajankle's acceptance speech be, John?
This guy, well,
Is it dishwasher teeth?
What kind of teeth? There were like rows of teeth.
Like I was gonna say, that would be.
Is one better than the other?
Well, the shark teeth are pretty sharp. I wouldn't want that. That hurt.
Maybe he just likes little teeth. Most dudes are like, it doesn't matter, just don't bite it. But maybe this dude's cool with it.
Right.
So
no, thank you.
I'm not down with that.
No thanks.
Not even.
And then somebody wants to know if they're going to make a pankle, a penis ankle for the ladies with foot fetishes. I don't think there's any lady who has a foot fetish.
I cannot see someone having sex with a foot. That would be weird.
Women wanting to see
No,
a man's
because
foot.
men's feet are nasty.
Like they usually want you to keep your socks and shoes on
for real.
while you're doing your business. By business, I mean going to the bathroom.
It's business time.
It is business time. That's why they're called business socks.
That's right. That's a little Flood the Concord for you.
I don't get foot fetishes. I just don't get it. I'm not a
Neither do I.
I'm not a big
Bill's
fan.
coach gets it.
Maybe we need to find someone.
I may or may not
Sexy
have dated
Rexy.
a guy at one time who had one of those.
Perez, maybe we need to do that sometime. Find someone who has a foot fetish, bring him on the podcast, and interview him.
I'm down with that.
John, we should do that. We should every time we think of something like this and we go, I can't understand how someone can have a foot fetish. We need to find someone with a foot fetish and get them on the podcast and interview them. Ask them about that. Find out because we think this guy is weird, but maybe he's got a good reason why. Or this lady's weird. Maybe she
Just like feet.
the penis ankle. You know.
If you're listening.
I'm not.
John is especially looking for you.
I would.
I think the interview question.
That would be great.
I would like to see the two of you interview someone with that.
I can see how this interview would go. It would be Dawn going, "Hi, welcome to the show. Hi, thanks for having me. Why?" And that would be it. She would have no other questions for him. And no answer he would give is satisfactory.
Definitely.
All right,
She'd be like, "Okay, you're disgusting."
Bonus question, $5 on the line, ladies and gentlemen. Who's the only repeat guest in Gear Network history?
Oh, I know this one.
Me too.
It was that dude that you said earlier.
Brandon, go ahead.
Chip Stetson.
Yeah. Chip Stetson. Even Perez knew that one. That was too easy.
Perez didn't know that one. You said that name. He didn't say flat out Chip Stetson.
Chip Stetson.
Perez.
Yay, $5.
$5 American dollars goes to you.
This is American
You
dollars.
don't even have a buzzer. I need a buzzer. I'd have got that one.
I have a manual buzzer. I've been doing the general manual buzzer all show. Just for you, man.
Epic.
Just for you. I was like,
So true.
break my heart. All right. What else you got? Anything?
Tearing up my heart.
No, but you actually mentioned this, and I said, I'm going to talk about that on the show, not my iPad.
Okay.
But you mentioned, talk about something else.
She's waving her iPad around like something's
Pull
else.
it up to make sure I get the story right. Go ahead. You guys talk more about porn or whatever you guys
Pull it up. Dot porn.
Let's talk about the other dating story.
Okay, cool. So I'm sitting at the end of the table one time. We're watching the pay-per-view, and there was a guy sitting behind me, and I wish I had a fork so you could hear the sound effect. but he's just tapping his fork on the table right behind me. So I turn around to him.
Was this like you were tapping your fingers on the railing?
Yes,
earlier?
yes, exactly. Right.
Okay.
So I say to him, "Excuse me, sir, can you please stop tapping your fork? It's kind of annoying." So he's like, "Oh yeah, sorry about that, no problem." So he stops. And a couple seconds later, tapping his fork again. So I let him tap for a couple minutes. I turn around. I'm like, "Excuse me, listen, it's kind of annoying. Can you please stop tapping your fork? Because you're doing it like right in my ear." So he's like, "Oh yeah, my bad. I didn't even think about it. Absent-minded. All right, no problem. Cool." Turn back around. Couple minutes later, tap, 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 tap.
All the while, these guys are looking at Lewis, laughing as
yes.
just so that in there.
Yeah. See, he could see them. I couldn't. My back was to them, so they're laughing, thinking it's funny. So I turn around and I'm like, "All right, listen. I've already asked you twice. It's the third time. Will you please stop tapping your fork?" And the guy's like, yeah, no problem. Sorry about that. Cool. Thank you. I'll turn back around. So according to John, they start laughing again. A couple seconds later, tap, 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 tap. This time, I decided not to turn around. I kind of shifted in my seat so they could see what I was doing. I took my cane. I unscrewed the top. I pulled the sword out of the cane and started tapping it on my table. And while I'm tapping the sword on the table, I'm like, you know what? That tapping that tapping stuff's really freaking annoying. I really hope they stop tapping their fork this time. I then take the sword, stick it back into the sheath, spin it shut, and set it down. Yeah, they never tapped the fork again. I'm pretty sure they crapped their pants.
Yeah, it was seriously a very, very awkward. Like they were just like
stone faced.
It was a board, and we presume being our tricky selves.
Yes, we laughed a lot.
All right, Don, let's hang a real quick station identification, and then we'll be right back with you. This is Get Ready America on the Gear Radio Network.
GearNetwork.com.
Go ahead.
Okay, you actually talked about this story. You told me about it a few days ago about how Ted Cruz's wife lost her job, I believe, and thus lost their health care insurance. So him being totally against the Affordable Health Care Act is now...
Well, hold on a second. First of all, the Affordable Health Care Act was not passed. It was Obamacare.
Hold, please. Let her finish.
That's not the official name.
Hold, please.
Yes, I know.
Okay, so anyways, so apparently he then came out saying that he actually was going to actually buy into Obamacare, affordable health care, whatever you want to call it. So I just thought that was interesting. Now he's actually coming back saying, well, now I'm going to look at all my other options because, of course, he got a ton of heat about it. But I just felt this would probably be a pretty good forum to hear what everybody has to say about it.
I would agree, Perez. Start with you.
Why are you coming to me first?
Because.
I'll make it easy for you. Just insert a fart noise and then.
She didn't lose her job. She actually quit her job so that she can help him campaign for this Titanic-like epic running for president that he's going to have, because he's polling at like 3% in the states for primaries against people who haven't even decided to run yet, which is not really good news. He was really good at raising money, but it seems like stupid people have lots of money to give away, so they just hand it over to a guy that's not going to have a snowball's chance.
No, he's not going to win.
No.
There's going to be other Republicans who step up.
It will be entertaining TV, though, to watch those debates with him and Rick Perry in the same the same panel.
But
you can only get DT in there.
But you need health care, and by law, if you don't have health care, you have to get Obamacare. Mm-hmm. So I don't really see what the big deal is. So what, he said that she had to get health.
Doesn't Congress have their own health care?
Actually, no. They did. There's two things you could do. You could get your own, but like he had his, and the open period's closed already for this year, so he can't add her arbitrarily. So she would have to get the Affordable Health Care Act.
But technically, they could just buy their own insurance. I mean, I'm quite sure those people have enough money to buy their own insurance.
They could get
you know, those Hispanic people.
He's got all that Cuban Canadian money coming in.
Right.
I don't know.
Why y'all looking at me? I don't really like Ted Cruz. Y'all expected more from me.
Ted Cruz.
But-
We went to you first because you're obviously like the
Well, he loves Obama.
the one who's against, like
He's a
you hate
fan.
Obama, like
Right.
you actually
He's
said.
actually leaning to the left a little bit right now.
He is a little bit.
He actually
I
said
am.
on
I
one
am. Yeah,
podcast
slightly.
he called Obama
But-
Physically.
our guy, as if like I'm, I love Obama, ooh, Obama. Like I don't recall ever being that, but apparently Obama's our guy.
Hey, bring it back to something that
I really meant him.
No, that's not
how's that
what she
race
said.
going?
I just saw on
You vote
Twitter
for
that Bray Wyatt hurt himself.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well.
Apparently he sprained his ankle. Warming up for the match tonight.
Seriously.
They had to cut him to the back. They said it'll probably be good to go, but
I'm sure he will.
biggest match of his career, and he might be on a bum leg.
Luke Harper, maybe an opening for you.
Could be. So you need to have the health care. So she has to get Obamacare. What do you do? It's either that or get penalized for not having health care.
Or you can buy regular private health insurance.
Yeah, you
don't
can.
have to go through that.
The only problem with that is that the Obamacare tends to be slightly cheaper, even though you get less.
So why would you want to?
Right.
Because technically the private markets right now are kind of all under the umbrella of Obamacare.
Mm-hmm.
So no matter what you do, you're going with Obamacare.
Right.
If you don't have health care, no matter what you do, you're going to get penalized.
Because these healthcare providers, they like money too.
Yeah, but they don't.
They will go under the umbrella.
Well, they'll go under the umbrella because they have to. It really wasn't a choice. Yeah, they kind of did.
You could be a private.
It really wasn't a choice.
You can be a private insurer.
You could, but you still have to be associated with what Obama passed. That was kind of the law. Or you could get taxed for $14,000. Up to you.
I had to.
Take your choice.
Didn't know what else to say.
I don't have to do either. I get insurance through John.
Let's see. There you go.
But
I get insurance through my job.
I took off to support
We're
my
taking-
husband
we're taking
as well,
the
but
idea and we're
thankfully
doing it.
his job provides insurance while I support
It's
it.
gonna sound
That's a good
wonderful.
thing. That's a good thing.
They're talking really loud. We're talking really quiet under them. It's gonna sound great.
So you guys are doing what they said they were
That's
going
what I
to
just
do.
said. Yes.
I only bring it up because we have two people who are like completely, as you guys said in the beginning of the show, completely on opposite spectrums here on what they feel politically. So I thought it would be interesting to hear what you guys had to say about that.
I thought that was very interesting dialogue.
I really have no issue with him having to get the Obamacare because they need it.
It's not an issue.
How long, seriously?
But if you set like your entire life, like
Right.
if you're Luis Perez and you're like, I hate these cigars. These cigars suck. I want these cigars banned. I want them gone.
Well, I wouldn't do
And then
that,
you go,
though.
I'm going to have these cigars.
Well, it happens. If it's needed, it's needed.
But you could have other cigars.
Yeah, but not in this
there are a lot of
case.
options.
Or they could just pay for her penalty or whatever she's going to get. I mean,
Well, why would you want to do
there are
that?
options.
Why would you want to do that, though?
It's not like they are hurting for funds. So I think whatever happened, they would have taken, whether it was Obama.
Right, because what options is he exploring now?
I think he should have. I think he made a mistake in not just trying to add her to his. He is a politician. They probably would have did it for him.
I don't disagree with you there. The fact that she.
Well, he was on hers.
Oh, so
that's like saying
so they don't have any period.
No.
Your whole career that you oppose homosexuality and then getting caught with a man in bed because you had no choice. Your wife wasn't around.
We watched Scandal.
And you couldn't find other options. I'm just saying, like,
Breaking
you
the
can't
fourth wall.
oppose something and then go and support it and take it out.
It kind of makes you look stupid.
He didn't say he was supporting it. He just said he was going to buy it.
Right.
That's supporting it.
Not really.
It is. You're paying.
Well,
Someone in
not
someone's
if you
eyes
need
will
it.
be.
If there's actually other options,
Yeah, but if you need it,
but there's other options which he's exploring.
we'll
Just
let him
because
explore the other ones.
because I smoke
Right,
crack
so he
does
says
not
he's
mean
exploring
I
the other
support
ones. He
crack
said he might get
But if
Obamacare.
he
It's
wasn't
one of the
running for
options.
president, he would not be exploring other options.
Well,
he wouldn't care.
Well,
He would do what makes most sense, which is to get Obamacare.
he probably tried to get that Democratic hit, saying he was probably going to get the Obamacare. That's probably his
I'm not
thought.
gonna get a Democratic.
Well, yeah, but he shouldn't even announced his presidency anyway.
We only want him to run for comedic purposes.
I'm a Republican and I won't vote for him.
Right.
Well, I am independent, but I lead Republican.
Yeah, I'm an independent Democrat.
I just make things up.
associate with liberals myself.
I just make things up, guys.
Right.
I was watching that Bill Maher.
Make everything up.
Vegans are attacking vegetarians.
Which is ridiculous, by the way. You're kind of the same thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't see that whole segment. His new rules, there was they were banning Dolce & Gabbana because they didn't believe in synthetic children. And
I'm really hungry.
And his synthetic hair had a big
Yes.
down, and Bill had a great thing. He says, "I'm not going to wear this shirt." He's like, not because I'm against what they said, but because I'm not Persian.
Yes.
And it broke into a new segment with saying, why can't we joke about things anymore?
We can't.
Everything's
Absolutely, we can't.
correct on everything.
Everyone gets so mad at everything, it's ridiculous.
Both sides of the aisles are butthurt over everything that goes on.
All right. Well, that was, you know what?
It's Don's fault.
I appreciate the talk, and I would look forward to more of this. Assuming you don't vote.
They weren't hostile. That's nice.
I vote.
No, both.
Bolt. Who going where?
Kansas City.
You're going to edit that part out.
Yes.
He was going there for ribs.
We've already discussed this.
Long road trip.
Long road trip.
We've already discussed this.
Yeah, you don't got to censor it out. It's a long road trip.
I don't.
No, it's cool.
Are you sure?
Yeah, no big deal. I'm probably not going. I just don't want to mention.
Yeah, right.
We have 5 listeners.
Yeah, 5 listeners before after you.
No, I'm not going. I'm not going anyway.
All right, great. Well, that's going to conclude today. We'll cue the music.
Sounds good.
And our 20th episode as I'm God. I want to thank, seriously, on a serious note, debate aside, joking aside, hate aside, all that fun crap we did earlier today. On the real, thank you all, everybody that has supported, pushed the Amazon, share, done hard work, stayed up late at night, texting me early in the morning, texting me late at night.
Emailing you at 4 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, indeed. So I do appreciate everything.
How'd that Notre Dame pick work out for you?
It almost worked out really well.
It almost worked out just fine because
That was a good game.
I was hoping that they would have drilled that 3 again because that would have been the exact question I would ask.
By the way, who's winning the bracket challenge?
That would be intern Brandon.
Still? Even after last night?
I have Kentucky going all the way.
Me too.
And for the record, Mike Ewing says to me,
Nova really screwed me.
Mike Ewing says to me, hey, how come my bracket doesn't count? Well, what'd you do? I don't know. He didn't fill out his bracket in our thing, in our bracket challenge. He filled out it separate.
Nice. Good job, Mike Ewing.
He wanted that to count, I think.
I think he's going to win.
Good job, Mike Ewing.
At least I won't finish last.
Speaking of winning, Perez, we still owe you a trophy.
2 people going last.
We still
owe me a trophy.
We still
It's
owe
true.
Perez a trophy for picking last year. Yeah.
I'm owed a trophy too for a baseball season.
Nobody bought into that baseball season.
Well, that's junk because you posted that message. I had $5 American.
You go buy yourself a trophy.
I'm gonna go buy myself a trophy because I went undefeated.
When undefeated in the league was
Yes.
Going undefeated still kind of,
Undefeated is undefeated.
It's kind of a big deal. We've had other three-person leagues.
This is a copyright podcast of the Gear Radio Network, so you can broadcast or reproduction without the express written permission of the Gear Radio Network. Our live dead crew, thank you again. Ryan, good day to you, sir.
Good day. Thank you for having me.
Perez, good day to you, sir.
Yes, I will go with you too.
The intern, welcome, and we will see you back.
Good day.
Sure. Good day to you, sir. And Dawn.
And Don.
I got a part.
What's new?
Ryan actually said it while you said it.
You probably hear it in the
I
background.
heard you say it.
Okay. I don't know how much how crazy you guys were getting, so I just had to.
All right, great. Well, JP Money Show Uncensored returns next week. We're going to be talking more of the Pierce's Wrestling BS.
That'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun.
That's going to have a few callers on there as well. We'll have some post-WrestleMania talk. Big week for podcasting. MLB preview show with the Better Live Than Dead crew here.
Yes, sir.
We're going to hammer that out real quick. And that's about it. So again, thank you for a great year. Let's do it again. Have another successful year. So long, everybody.
Good night now.